wake up with a smile, and then in a while I'll come to lunch with the ladies. Lunch with the ladies. Lunch with the ladies. Lunch with the ladies.
Welcome to the Libby Show, Lunch with the Ladies.
In this, her first interview ever, the lovely and talented Cherie Jimenez talks about how she became an actor, the defining moment in her life when she decided this indeed was what she wanted to do, and how as a young actress, acting helped her family out of homelessness. You'll hear about her first role in an Ovaltine commercial, her role as Rachel in the films Lost Girls and Maya, and about working with some amazing actors like Jake Gyllenhaal and Connie Britton on a project. But beyond her roles, including her brand new role as Gabby on Days of Our Lives on Peacock, she'll talk about how motherhood is her greatest role and how she juggles motherhood and acting. You'll hear this and more on this episode of The Libby Show.
Is there any reason she would have run away?
I take really good care of Maya. Just please help me find Maya.
I got a new girl here. So breaking her in.
Just don't put her on me if she starts crying, okay? I can't deal with that today.
What are you gonna do? Go back to your mother? Who let her drunken boyfriend mess with you?
Please, be her back.
Did the research team run the facial recognition tech on the Garcia girl yet?
Calls himself Ray. Was in contact with her on social media.
Ain't it always the way?
Have you ever thought of leaving? What? I didn't say that. I would never leave you. I swear.
Say it louder!
I never leave you. No,
He
please.
loves me, and he's gonna come find me. I know that.
If you don't come, I'll just know it's all a big lie.
She's gonna really need you to be strong. I'll do anything, whatever it takes.
Quiet! Stop!
This is what I promised you for the girls. She's really young.
I don't want to do this anymore.
What did you say?
Just go, please. Go.
Call back up and SWAT on the way. Take these outside and burn them! Move it!
Just trust me, okay? We're not making stop.
You're not enjoying the party?
He's taking the money.
Mom, no, please. Maya!
Cherie, it's so good to have you on the show. I've seen you in Lost Girls. Can't wait to see you in Maya. Ileana, tell us a little bit about Cherie.
With pleasure. Cherie Jimenez was born in Manhattan, New York, grew up on the Lower East Side, Washington Heights, Alphabet City, and Brooklyn. She is Sicilian, Italian, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Spanish, and Taino Native American. She attended both the Professional Performing Arts School and SUNY Purchase Acting Conservancy in New York, now residing in California and Los Angeles. Most recently, she can be found in the role of Anna on the TV series Nova Vita and the TV show Banshee. She also plays Rachel in the film Lost Girls, now on Lifetime, and is appearing in the upcoming film thriller Maya. It's such a pleasure, first of all, to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about your role as Rachel in Lost Girls and also this upcoming movie thriller Maya, both directed by Julia. This is such a difficult subject matter. What made you want to work on these projects?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. The subject matter of human trafficking is an incredibly difficult one to even talk about, touch on the surface of what that entails, because it is such a broad subject that I don't think people are truly aware of it being right in our own backyards. Basically the script came to me, and it's rare as an actor to read a script that really touches your soul and makes you feel something. And this one did that. I knew when I read the script that whoever booked this role of Rachel was going to have her work cut out for her. So when it was meant for me and I booked the role, there was excitement, of course. But also I began to educate myself on the realities of human trafficking. My character, Rachel Martinez, that I play in Lost Girls, I had the honor to reprise in Maya as well, is a human trafficking survivor who had become a social worker, helping young women to deal with the trauma that they have experienced and coming back into the reality of living in society again. So within both films, I worked with many girls, but specifically Angie, who the movie Lost Girls is mainly about, and Maya as well. It's an incredible role. I'm incredibly grateful for Julia. She is such an amazing woman, director, writer. Having her in my life has been a huge blessing, and to be able to be a part of telling stories like this is incredibly important for me. I believe that as an actor, storytelling is everything. And so to be able to tell these stories that a lot of people don't like to talk about, yes, I will be the one to talk about them. So I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity and for the role.
That's great. Well said.
Thank you.
Beth, do you have a question for Cherie?
Yes. What was your first role? And are you happy with the trajectory?
Yes, so my first role, I've actually been doing this since I was young. I won't go too much into it because it'll be a whole nother thing, but it is actually acting is what took my mother and I out of homelessness. So at the beginning, when it was, I lived here, I lived there, I lived there, my mother and I basically lived all over New York City from the kindness of family and friends that let us stay in different places. And so Brooklyn was the first place where we had our first apartment. Now going back to my first role, that's basically what got us our first apartment, was me getting into acting. So my first real role, well, my first commercial was Más Ovaltine, por favor, which is an Ovaltine commercial in Spanish. And then my first role was actually at Sundance Filmmakers Lab. In 2000, I was 12 years old, and I booked the role of Birdie in a film called Caucasia. It took place in the 70s, and it was my mother and I were on the run. We were fugitives, and we had changed our names and left my father and my sister behind to go start new lives because they were part of an underground weaponry fight for their rights kind of thing. And so that's basically what actually made me realize that I wanted to be an actor. Was I had a very difficult scene that I had a lot of trouble getting to emotionally. It was basically too being there. I was surrounded by incredible actors. I got to work with Kerry Washington, played my half sister. Michael Beach played my father. Jake Gyllenhaal played my love interest, as much of a love interest as there was, you know, being young. And then Connie Britton played my mother.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Isn't that wild? Then I was just happy to be there, happy to book a job that was going to put food on the table and help us towards our goal of getting an apartment. But I had a scene there that was incredibly difficult for me to get to emotionally. And I remember within that scene, I decided that I didn't want to act anymore because I didn't like the feeling that of having to go somewhere emotionally that I wasn't like, that I couldn't get to. And Michael Beach pulled me aside. I was 12 years old, pulled me aside and basically started talking to me and working with me and started improvising with me and helping me get there, which was something that I fell into acting very just randomly anyway. So everything that I was booking was by chance or by chance. It was just meant to be. It wasn't like I had any formal training until I started going to the performing arts school and started actually working on my craft. But there was where I really got a lesson in everything. And within that scene where I decided that I didn't want to be an actor anymore, Michael and I started working together and something happened. I really, to this day, don't even know how to explain it, but I guess the best way is I feel like I blacked out. Emotionally, I was able to get to a place that I don't really know what happened, but I got there based off of the work that we were doing together. And it released these emotions that as a 12-year-old, I had closed off based on my own personal situation with my father. And now looking back, I understand that that's what that was. Then I didn't really understand it. And I gave a performance that they showed to everybody, because every week they would show all the scenes to everyone, that made everybody, give me a
Wow.
round of applause. And also, it was in that moment that I realized that I do want to be an actor, and that feeling was unlike anything that I could have ever, that I can't describe it, but I felt it in my soul, and I was like, okay, so this is it. And yeah, it was wonderful.
I mean, I think it's definitely something that was meant to be. And just so the viewers know, we know the questions, we don't always know the answers. So I think, like, you had me at, we were homeless until I got my first acting job. So you're definitely meant to be an actor, and the parts that you're taking. First of all, I have to see that film that you're talking about. And secondly,
it never, so just on the side, real quick, unfortunately, so the way it works is that they choose a couple of directors to come to the Sundance Filmmakers Lab every year in June, and you get to choose what scenes you want to film as a director. And then they film those scenes, they showcase them, and then at the end of the year, you end up getting chosen as like a couple of films, and then whatever film they choose, they end up making into a full feature.
Right.
Good. So it wasn't made.
No, it was never made. It was never made. Yeah. So it was the experience that I got to have, that my mother and I got to have, that was incredible. And yeah, it changed everything for me.
Yeah, the film wasn't made, but you were.
Exactly.
I love
well
that.
put.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah,
put.
especially being so young and going into the industry, and it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I want to be an actress. It was just like, oh, okay, cool. Do this commercial, I'll do this, I'll do this job. Okay, like do this. And it was just all falling on my lap. And so this was the first time that I really got to have a character that I was exploring, and emotions, and got to really just be present with something like that, of that caliber, also working with the actors that I did. And so that, now I'm 35, and I mean, there's nothing else that, I mean, don't get me wrong, living life and traveling and family, nothing compares to that. But being an actor now, I see that it is meant for me. It's in my bones, it's in my soul, it speaks to me. There's nothing like storytelling and being able to step into these characters and being able to tell the stories, and to help other people, and to make other people feel things. Like, that's like me as a viewer watching something. I love actors that I get to just like, feel like I feel what they're feeling, and feel like I'm there. And it's like, okay, for a moment you get to just step out of the reality that we're living in and step into somebody else's shoes and see other people's experiences. And so that's,
and first of all, you don't look 35, and second of all,
it's Latin roots.
it's a blessing to know what you want to do at that age. Messalina, I know you have something in common with Cherie. So what is your question?
Yeah, so I think I'm very understanding that you've got a little one and I've got a little one. So I was just wondering, in this crazy time living with, like, trying to juggle so much stuff, how do you juggle being a mom and having an awesome acting career?
Oh my, I'm still figuring it out.
So are we.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I just take it day by day, project by project. But it's been a wild ride. It's been incredible. I have a 1-year-old. His name is Phoenix. Motherhood is, I mean, when I talk about the role that I was meant to play, it's mother. It's to be a mother. This is the greatest role that I will ever play. So I'll start with that right there. As far as juggling both, I actually got a good glimpse into that with my last project. Well, first with Maya, Phoenix was 2 months old when I filmed that, and Julia had written Rachel into that movie, which was an incredible honor to begin with. And so when she mentioned to me that I would be shooting 2 days, he was still so small that, I mean,
he was still sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. Leaving him was like, okay, this is happening. I wasn't ready to get back into acting. I'll start with that. I wasn't ready to get back into acting until he was over a year old. That was what I told my representation. So Julia writing me into Maya changed that for me. And I love Julia so much. I was like, of course, I'm going to do this. So my husband took care of Phoenix. I went to go film that. It ended up working out great. Where it really became something where I got to really see how it was juggling was I just recently filmed a movie in November, December called Man in the Long Black Coat. And I play a supporting character. And within that movie, which I'm so excited for, it's got an incredible cast and I play a really awesome role, very pivotal to the story. Phoenix, at that time, I breastfeed. I exclusively breastfeed. And so my husband had given him bottles when I filmed Maya, and but my husband works and I'm a stay-at-home mom. So, but like I pump and I would put it in the freezer, but I had my boobs. So I was like, okay, here we go. Like it's just easy. Then the Man in the Long Black Coat came, and we thought that it was going to be easy to just give him a bottle. Phoenix refused bottles, refused open cups, bottles, like pretty much would not take my milk from anything. I spent about a week prior to the movie trying every single method imaginable and nothing would work. So I finally ended up going to shoot on the first day, and my husband had one last method that he was going to try. And I was like, if it doesn't work, just come to set and we'll just make it work. So while I was on set, he came, my husband, incredible. I'm so grateful for him, came with Phoenix, and in between the camera turning around, I would come back to my trailer, feed Phoenix, and get right back on set. And so Phoenix would have to be there all day in the trailer with my husband, Sean, until it was bedtime. And then I fed him enough to where they could leave. And then I would be on set till like 2, 3 in the morning and then come home and make sure to get there just in time. So I got a firsthand view into just what that was, which I'm not sure I know everybody has their journey with breastfeeding, but it's draining in itself. And so it was very difficult for me, I guess, energetically wise, to really get myself kind of going back to set, back to feeding, back to set, back to set, back to feeding. But it worked. And I'm so grateful. And it ended up being an incredible experience. And everyone on set was so incredible. And funny enough, there were actually 2 other moms on set that were breastfeeding. One of the other moms just had a baby a couple of months prior. So I felt supported. And it also gave me a beautiful glimpse into my future in this industry as a woman, and just to see how much has changed. Because in the past, I had this fear that if I had a baby and I wasn't the lead of a show, that I wouldn't work. And I worked on releasing that and releasing the self-limiting beliefs behind all that. And I've been blessed with a beautiful, healthy baby boy, and also an incredible career. And so I'm just going to keep taking it project by project, but yeah, it's, just figuring it out as it happens.
Well, you also are blessed with a support system. Yes. Because women that don't have that kind of support system can't do the career as easily. And that's, one of the issues. And I'm glad you're making it work. But it's something that it's something you can do now that maybe 10 years ago you couldn't do.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a beautiful story, and I'm so glad that it worked, and that the breastfeeding's gone so well and everything. That's wonderful.
Thank you. It's been a journey, as I'm sure everyone knows, but I'm incredibly grateful to be able to nourish my child and to be able to produce. And I think that is priority number one. And then the career is just there. I'm at the point too, where when it comes to a career, I view it so differently now. I say no to projects that won't allow me to come with Phoenix, like as to where before I would never think of saying no to things. Now it's not meant for me. You know, I truly believe that this last project showed me that what is meant for me will fall into alignment with where I'm at in my life as a mother, and that coming first.
We all know this. I mean, every woman that's a mother knows that this is what we have to do. And as one person told me, she was a news reporter for one of the New York City stations. She said, we still work, we're still a mother, we still do other things. It's just that within hours every day, the priority changes. And that's the only way to do it. So you're always a mother, but the priority has the priorities change. Stacy, do you have a question for Cherie?
I do. I loved what you were saying before, and particularly when you said that you got to see an outlook of what your future could be. And so that brings me to my question. What are some of your new projects, and what are your hopes for the future?
So as of right now, I have 2 projects, one being Maya with Julia, which I'm incredibly excited for and grateful for, to be an artist for change with her, to be able to tell another story that's incredibly important in our society. I am an advocate for, you know, everything that she puts out there. And I know that she just recently finished a new movie, No Address, about homelessness. So I look forward to watching that one as well. So I look forward to that project coming out. I also have another one, Man in the Long Black Coat, which I just spoke about. That project will be coming out as well. I'm not quite sure. I just finished filming it. And it's got, again, an incredible cast, as does Maya. I've been incredibly blessed to work with incredible actors, incredible storytellers, you know, cast and crew, everyone. I truly believe that what I've been attracting has been just really positive, just really beautiful people. You know, I feel like I go on set and everyone is just so kind, everyone is so welcoming. And so I'm really excited for the future. And then as of right now, I do auditions here and there. It just kind of depends on the role that comes through, and also if it will allow for me to bring Phoenix. I have to think about so many things with traveling, like all the different things. But right now, between Maya and Man in the Long Black Coat, those 2 are just incredible blessings in my life.
And I think, you know, attracting things, I do believe in all of that. And even on Zoom, someone's personality shines through, and I could definitely see how you'd be attracting good parts, because you just seem like you'll take it on and you'll do it the right way.
Thank you.
We're going to have a little fun now. We're going to do what we call the Libby lightning round. Stacy is going to ask you just a few quick things with 1 word, 1 sentence answer.
Okay, perfect.
So what's the last movie you watched?
Last movie I watched, The Whale.
Oh my goodness. Okay. TV series that you're binging right now?
Just finished White Lotus season 2. So good.
Love that, Jennifer.
Yes. Oh, and The Last of Us. We did 2.
Okay. And how do you normally unwind?
Depends. Bath, yoga, movie with the husband, a nap.
Amen.
Yeah.
And which do you prefer, New York or Los Angeles?
New York. I love Los Angeles. I love the life that I have created here, but New York, nothing compares.
And what is a toy that you remember as a kid?
Sky dancers. Do any
Oh,
of you
yeah.
remember? You would pull the little thing and it would just fly. Yeah. It was like very.
I remember that, but not from having played with it, from buying it for my kids.
Yeah.
And what is a motto that you live by?
We are all just walking each other home. Ram Dass. I'm not sure if you've ever heard it. I know this is a 1 sentence, but it's beautiful because it's a nice reminder to be kind to one another and to understand that we're all in this together, even though we're all having completely different human experiences. In the end, we're all here to love, and we're all just walking each other home. I think it's a nice reminder when, you know, people in your life are going through things, to just be there for each other.
That is so beautiful.
That's huge. That's huge. And I wish the whole world would understand that we're all humans walking together, because it doesn't seem like that message is anywhere these days.
I know. It's okay though. I think it starts with me, then you know, it's just like I make sure that everybody that I cross feels welcome and feels love and feels kindness and feels included. And I know I'm doing my part. So I used to think, oh, well, why can't everybody be this way? Also, it comes with a lot of growth and work that I've done on myself. So, you know, I hope that it's infectious and that it's like a domino effect, right? You show kindness to one other person and then it puts them in a state of love and then they show
Pay it
kindness.
forward.
Yes.
Exactly. All right, I've got one more question for you. What is the best thing about being the age you are right now?
I have learned to fall in love with myself as I am.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. All of it.
That is beautiful and very hard to do.
It is, but you know what? It's every day. I have a little heart that I tattooed on my chest. My mom thought I was crazy. She was like, "You got a chest tattoo," but it's my self-love heart, I call it. And I started working on myself. I'd say probably like 9 years ago. Really started digging deep, and with that has come self-love. And it's a continuous journey. It's not like, okay, I love myself, okay, we're done. It's continuous, and I continue to remind myself to be kind to myself and be gentle with myself and be patient with myself.
Yeah, I think I think you said it right. It is a continuous journey. So when I say it's hard, it's because it is a continuous journey and it's something you constantly have to tell yourself. Well, thank you, Cherie. It was wonderful to meet you. Can't wait to see Maya. We'll put up on screen where everyone can see Lost Girls and your new movie coming out, Man in the Coat. It was
Man in the Long Black Coat.
Man in the Long Black Coat. We will all go see that. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is also my first interview ever. So yeah, you guys. Yeah, I'm a little nervous, but also, yeah, thank you guys.
Oh, you were excellent.
Well, that wraps another episode of The Libby Show, Lunch with the Ladies. Don't forget what Libby stands for. Ladies living in their best years. So all of you that are watching, please share the word with your friends. You can find out on our Facebook page and Twitter and Instagram where to find us, where to watch us. We're in many different places at Susie BTS or lunchwiththeladies.net. You can also find stuff there. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or look up any of our hosts and you'll find us there. Thanks for watching. And as I say all the time, every day, find some joy and give some joy.
Wake up with a smile